Straight to the press review. We're going to talk more about Donald Trump not ruling out military action in Venezuela. Tensions also continuing to build with the US. Dipti's found quite a few reactions in the press. Take us through it then, Dipti.
Well, Stuart, you'll remember this summer the US launched strikes on suspected drug trafficking boats off the coast of Venezuela. Last month, the Donald Trump administration authorized the CIA to launch operations from inside of Venezuela. And earlier this week, the US president said he would not rule out US troops on the ground in Venezuela. But he did say that he would be open to speaking with the Venezuelan leader, Nicolas Maduro, to avoid military escalation. You have the Mexican paper El Universal here focusing on Maduro's response, who said that any kind of contact would have to be face-to-face, you see here in this article from the Mexican Daily. Now, Nicolas Maduro has said that the strikes this summer were an attempt by Washington to overthrow him. And in today's New York Times, Bret Stephens, a conservative columnist, makes a case for overthrowing Maduro. He says that the threat of Venezuela, it's not just about drugs, it's not about the devastating humanitarian crisis, nor is it about Maduro's autocratic governance. Rather, it is geopolitical. Venezuela's proximity to China, Russia, and Iran means that the US's, quote, enemies would ultimately have a significant foothold in the region. Now, there are two options: economic sanctions, but we know that that rarely ever works well, or intervention, which essentially means war with all that it entails. However, the writer here says there is another option, and that could be inspired by the Panama dictator Manuel Noriega capturing Maduro, forcing him to face charges in the US while destroying his military capabilities at home.
And one magazine suggests that the US uses its leverage to force both Maduro and the opposition to strike a deal.
Yeah, that's right. Foreign Affairs, the magazine, says American force won't dislodge Maduro, but American diplomacy might. And it makes a case for a grand bargain with Venezuela, essentially saying that the US has diplomatic leverage and Donald Trump could force both sides to the negotiating table, or at least to sign some kind of joint agreement. And from there onwards, they could begin to dismantle Nicolas Maduro's autocratic government. Essentially, the article says Venezuela's opposition is highly dependent on the US. So the Donald Trump administration could force them into a position to negotiate. Meanwhile, the threat of war and violence could sway Nicolas Maduro's government to the negotiating table, even if for the moment all of that will take time. You also have this from the National Review, which is a conservative magazine, which, on the other hand, makes a case for war with Venezuela, mainly because of what we mentioned there, those close ties with the US's enemies.
Dipti's going to delve now into the British papers. I'm sure you can tell what she's going to talk about, focusing on just one story. The government calls the most sweeping asylum policy overhaul of modern times.
Yeah, that's right. We'll take you through some of the reactions now. The Interior Minister, Shabana Mahmood, unveiled the government's hardline plans for asylum seekers that include making refugee status temporary, quadrupling the time for refugees to settle permanently to 20 years, and speeding up the deportations of those who came illegally. Now, the tough approach aiming to halt the rise of the far right in Britain. As you can see here, The Guardian calling it hardline asylum plans, and Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, facing Labour revolt for putting forward these plans. It has found some support, at least from the right-wing papers, which the Daily Express's right-wing paper here, saying it's a step in the right direction. But as you can imagine, a lot of criticism from on the left, the Independent, the centre-left paper here, saying that the Labour would ramp up deportations by overriding European human rights legislation. And in its front-page article here, it quotes an anti-torture campaigner who says that political parties in the UK are trying to outdo each other in their cruelty towards refugees.
A big unveiling for you to finish the press review. Dipti's been looking at Cambridge Dictionary. They've released the word of the year. Dipti.
And I bet you don't know what it means.
Probably not. What is it?
Parasocial. Do you know what it means?
No idea. No.
I'll be honest, I didn't know either.
Okay, well, it makes me feel better.
It's defined as a deep connection you feel to someone or something you do not know. Think of, for instance, Stuart, the joy you felt when you heard that Taylor Swift got engaged this
I
year.
was so happy.
Or the deep empathy you felt with singer Lily Allen when she revealed that her husband had been cheating on her for several years. Well, though that is a parasocial relationship, it could also be the feeling that ChatGPT is your friend, your confidant, your therapist. All of these are parasocial relationships. It's basically a relationship you have with something or someone you don't know. I would like to, if I have time, quickly finish on a video here. Nothing to do with parasocial relationships. It's
almost sundown.
Scientists have believed that they've discovered the first documented instance of a wolf steward, a lone wolf, using a tool to hunt for food. This was in British Columbia. Basically, the local people there had no idea why their traps to capture green crabs were not working. It turns out that it was this wolf who, as you see there, pulling the nets, using the rope to pull it in, and then, as you can see there, she was enjoying those lovely treats.
A fishing wolf.
A fishing wolf, a very wily, resourceful fishing wolf.
Very impressive as well. Dipti, thanks a lot. Dipti with the press review.